In the previous session, we tested these two ratios for proportionality. We found the product of these two numbers and then the product of these two numbers and then compared them. But what is this 75? What is the logic behind this? To understand this, let us first use the regular method of finding the LCM of both the denominators. As the denominators are different, our first step should be to make the denominators same. That is, we need to have a common denominator so that we can compare the numerators. To find the common denominator, we take the LCM of 5 and 25. While finding the LCM of two numbers, if one is a multiple of the other, the multiple becomes the LCM. As 25 is a multiple of 5, the LCM of 5 and 25 is 25. So we have to write 3 over 5 as something over 25. It means we have to multiply the denominator by 5. 5 times 5 is 25. And to keep the ratio equal, we also multiply the numerator by 5. 3 times 5 is 15. So the first ratio becomes 15 over 25. What about the second ratio? As the denominator of the second ratio is already 25, we keep the ratio as is, 15 over 25. Now we have made the denominators equal. So in the second step, we compare the numerators. Both are 15. 15 is equal to 15. As the numerators are equal, we can say that the ratios are equal. Hence, 3 over 5 is equal to 15 over 25. This was the regular technique to compare two ratios. Now let us analyze the other method we used, in which we multiplied this with this and then compared the products. The first step remains the same. We make the denominator same. But there is a small difference here. The common denominator is not the LCM this time. It is the product of the two denominators. So 5 multiplied by 25 gives us 125. This 125 will be the common denominator. The first fraction is 3 over 5. So we have to write 3 over 5 as something over 125. 5 times what gives us 125? We multiply the denominator by 25 to get 125. And to keep the ratio equal, we also multiply the numerator by 25. 3 times 25 equals 75. The first ratio was written as 75 over 125. The second ratio in question was 15 over 25. Now we also have to write 15 over 25 as something over 125. To make the denominator 125, we multiply it by 5. 25 times 5 gives us 125. To keep the ratio same, we also have to multiply the numerator by 5, which gives us 75. So the second ratio is written as 75 by 125. The denominators are the same now. We move on to comparing the numerators. Both are 75. What does that tell us? As the numerators are the same, the ratios will be equal. Hence we can say that 3 over 5 is equal to 15 over 25. So now you know where the 75 came from. The only difference is that in this case, we take the product of the denominators as a common denominator. And in the other case, we take the common denominator as the LCM of the two denominators. Both methods are correct. And this method was shown just to explain why we multiply this with this and then compare.